y'all, and welcome back to my channel. So your girl just celebrated her 10th anniversary of my 21st birthday, and because of that I wanted to go ahead and share 31 valuable life lessons that I have learned throughout the course of my life that I thought would be some great shares. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and dive right on in, okay? So first, and the way that I'm saying it, it's not in any particular order, and to be quite honest, there were so many life lessons that I had that I wanted to share that I actually had to make a condensed version. So I might make a 2.0 down the line, or make a part 2 version or something in that regards down the line. But anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead with the first lesson. Now, always stand in your truth, no matter how uncomfortable it might make others feel. Now, this is an important life lesson, and it's something that, to be quite honest, I felt like I was always doing, but I quickly learned that I really wasn't. And the person who I was not being the most truthful with was with myself. So I feel like once you're ultimately able to be truthful with yourself, then being truthful with others becomes a breeze. Okay, number 2. Always leave people better than how you found them. Now, this is pretty self-explanatory. You know, you come into a room, you know, and you see maybe somebody looks down or, you know, not quite themselves. Think of ways how you can kind of uplift that person, you know? And yeah, just always leave people better than how you found them. Number 3, there's a way to deliver a truthful message in a loving manner. So it's not what you say, but it's how you say it. This is something that I also feel like I've mastered, or have been mastering in recent times, with just my delivery of things. And yeah, so it's not what you say, but it's how you say it. Now, people come in your life for a reason, season, or lifetime. So some of these lessons you would have heard me made mention of in previous videos, but they're valuable lessons, so I still have to include them. So people come in your life for a season, people come in your life for a reason, season, or a lifetime. I cannot express how deep that statement is. Now, when I was 16 years old, I had a boyfriend who used to always stress that to me. So much so that he had even put it on a little dog chain for me for my 16th birthday. I'll never forget. And at that time, I couldn't quite grasp the whole concept of it, and I couldn't quite appreciate what the message was behind it until, as I've gotten older, that you really see and understand that every single person in your life comes in for a reason. They're there for a season. So whether that season be a few months, a few years, even a few weeks, or maybe just for the moment, you know, or a lifetime. You know, sometimes we do have those people who are like lifetime friends, or lifetime people who are part of our lives, whatever you want to call it. But yes, people come in your life for a reason, season, or lifetime. And I feel that when you truly grasp that concept, and when you truly understand the concept and the depth of that statement, then you're able to really just look at life so different. And you look at each encounter in your life so different, and you appreciate it all, because at the end of the day, it's all with reason. Okay, ultimately is what it boils down to. Alright, so next one. Not all who starts with you is gonna finish with you. And that was something that when I was younger, my older siblings would always tell me. Like, for example, like if you had a friend or you had a boyfriend, and they're like, yeah, you know, don't sweat these things, because in a few years from now, that's not even gonna matter. Like, that probably won't even be your friend no more. Or like, that's not gonna be your boyfriend no more. Or like, you know, they say things like that. And you know, at that age, you can understand it, because, you know, you're so like, nah, this is my road dog, this is my girl. Or like, nah, this is like my forever. Like, this is my boo. Like, what do you mean? What are you talking? But I I understand it, you know, and that's just the realities of life. Not all who starts with you is going to finish with you, and that's okay. That's okay. It goes right back to them coming and serving their reason, their season, and maybe they just weren't there for the lifetime, and that's okay. Next point, or next valuable lesson, I shall say. Cherish the people in your life that nourish your soul. Oh, I can't, like, I feel like that's just so, just straight to the point. Cherish the people in your life who nourish your soul. So if you're having people in your life and you're finding that they're just draining your energy, or they're just, you're losing yourself, or you're losing your soul, or like something just doesn't feel right, you know, they don't feel like they're really feeding you, they're not feeling that deep side of you, or like they're really feeding that, they're not really feeding your soul. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of pointless to keep them around, you know what I'm saying? So cherish the ones who truly nourish your soul, because those are the ones who are going to be there for a lifetime. Now, what else? Always make yourself a priority. Now, this I know can cause controversy. This and another point, another lesson that I learned that I'll mention down the line, I know it's gonna cause a bit of controversy, because it's like, make yourself a priority. So what are you saying? Like, forget the kids, forget your partner, forget, you know? No, I'm not saying forget them, but what I'm saying is you gotta make yourself a priority, because at the end of the day, if you ain't 100, you can't be 100 for them. You know what I'm saying? And they cannot really appreciate you in your entirety until you are. So make yourself a priority. So that means you got some grind, some hustle going for yourself, you know, some goal that you're so focused on and that you're driven towards. If you find that there's somebody in your life who's really hindering that, or somebody who's really kind of acting like a roadblock, you got to remove them, because that's now interfering with you and what you're doing, what you got going on. You know what I'm saying? Or like, let's say you're not feeling well, but you're trying to go to this event because, well, if you don't go to this event, this friend or this person is gonna feel this type of a way. Well, hey, sorry, I can't go because your girl ain't feeling well. And I'm not trying to run myself down on the ground, because at the end of the day, I still got work, school, or whatever it is. I still got stuff going on too that I gotta be 100 that I can tend to, and I cannot do that if I'm under the weather. So I'm sorry, boo boo, not today. You know, little things like that. Make yourself a priority. Make your goals, what's important to you, make those priorities. And if that kind of clashes with somebody else or something else that somebody else has going on, that's irrelevant. You know, at the end of the day, the people who really love and appreciate you will understand. Okay? This next point, which I think is super important. Your mental health is just as important as your physical health. Okay? People are always pressing about physical health and being in shape and how important it is, and you know, to you know, when you're physically fit, you prolong your life and all of these great things. But oftentimes we forget to mention the importance of mental health, and I think that's something that is just kind of a norm within, I guess, the Black community. And I'm noticing now more and more people are opening up and being more open and just being more vulnerable in that sense, which is great. But I think there's still a large number who don't understand the importance of a mental health and taking care of that. So if there's something that's interfering with your mental health, something that's got you, you know, depressed, stressed out, dealing with anxiety, maybe you've experienced some PTSD, you know, you have anything, whatever that is, it needs to be taken care of and looked after, because your mental health is just as important as your physical health. When you get sick, okay, if after a while nothing, you know, you're trying all the natural remedies, it's not working, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go find yourself to the doctor, right? So the same should be for your mental health. If something's not feeling right, something ain't right, or you notice something isn't right with a loved one, if you really and truly love them, make mention to it. And it goes back to, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You can be truthful in a loving way. You can deliver a truthful message in a loving way, you know? Bring that to them. And yeah, take care of that, because your mental health is just as important as your physical health. Okay, other one. Love yourself so much so that you reject any energy that reflects anything short of that. So that may look like, for example, loving yourself. It goes back to your health. Taking care of your health. Health is wealth, okay? Taking care of your health. Drink your water. Sleep. People don't understand how important it is to sleep, and how much lack of sleep and lack of water, lack of eating, just eating garbage. Eat healthy. Change up your diet. That's something that I'm not gonna lie, like, I eat healthy, but I also struggle with, you know, having my cheat days or sometimes turn into multiple days, and then, you know. But it's important. You have to eat healthy. Eat healthy, drink your water, and rest. And those three things already in itself, especially if you're somebody who is susceptible to mental health issues, that is something, I'm telling you, that can make a world of a difference for you. Okay? And also what it looks like to love yourself, and just rejecting any energy that doesn't. If you're in a situation that you know is not for you, where let's say the person doesn't respect you as you should, or not necessarily if you're in that situation, it could be with a partner, with a friend, at your place of employment, with a family member, anybody, anything, you know? If you just know that this situation for you, this person ain't showing me love, the type of love that I deserve, or the type of love that I would show for myself, I ain't got no business being here, and they ain't got no business in my life. Okay? So yes, that is definitely an important thing. Love yourself so much so that you reject anything that just doesn't do the same. Protect your energy. It is so important, and it's so crucial, I'm telling you guys. And this is something that I have really been practicing, I'd say since the start of this year, and I have seen a world of difference in things. So protect your energy. Make a cautious effort to heal from any and all wounds that you have endured. This is also super duper important, because I feel that people do not realize just how important, or just how much, and not necessarily from your childhood, but just how much trauma or any type of wound that you've endured, whether it have been, usually it's at the hands of someone else. But people don't understand how important healing from that is, because when you don't heal, that really affects who you are as a person and as an individual. And if you find that you have a lot of, let's say, not so pretty traits, or a lot of negative traits, or you know, you feel negative energy and things around, it usually comes down to things that you haven't quite addressed or dealt with head on. And oftentimes doing something like that, it does require a lot of strength. It does require a lot of work. But if it's something that you're committed to doing, especially because if you're wanting to elevate to higher levels, or just wanting to just elevate out of your current situation that you're just not really feeling the greatest in, you have to be honest with yourself, and you have to dig down deep and ask yourself those hard questions. And usually in asking yourself those things, you find that there's a lot of wounds there that have not been tended to. So in doing so, when you do tend to those wounds, oh, is this about to finish up? I might have to push, okay, never mind. Anyways. But yes, it is so important. It is so important. And oftentimes, I'm pretty sure I made mention of this in a previous video as well. Oftentimes, there's so much trauma from our childhoods that we don't realize that we carry on as adults. And that's what makes us who we are. So if you find that, you know, you got a lot of not so great traits, then you got to dig deep and ask yourself, where did this come from? And what is causing me to be this way? And in that, you're able to acknowledge those wounds and deal with them accordingly. Moving on to the next point, or moving on to the next lesson. When the time comes for you to make a change, the universe will make it so uncomfortable for you that eventually you'll have no other choice. Now, this is so true. This is a lesson that I have learned. So there has been many different situations that I have been in every aspect where I personally had felt that, like, I had been contemplating change in certain areas, and sometimes it was like you weren't really sure, do I take this step, or, you know, maybe I just gotta wait it out a little, or maybe I just gotta, you know, let's say you're at a new job, or you're at a job and you're finding, you know what, this work is just, it's not cutting it for me no more. You know, it's getting a bit too redundant, or like this, it's just not feeding my soul. Like this just isn't me. Like the 9-to-5 life, like that's just not me, you know? Or maybe it is for you, but just not at that company, you know? You know it's time to make a change because I'm telling you, everything will just have you feeling so uncomfortable. Everything will just have you just finally just, you know, you ever get that feeling when you're just like, you know what, one day you just wake up and be like, F it. Forget it. Like, just forget it. Like, I'm done. I'm over. I'm so over this. I'm throwing in the towel. That's it. Like, hunted. That's the universe, okay? Everything is working to show you that this is not for you. The change needs to be made. You need to take that step. In order to take that step, in taking that step, you're gonna see how things just really fold or fall into place as they're supposed to be falling into place for you. So when the time comes for you to make a change, the universe will have it so much so that you'll feel so uncomfortable that you feel like change is the only option. Okay? And to piggyback onto that, the next lesson is embrace change. Oh, this is something that I used to struggle with so bad. I'm the type of person that I'm so used to routine. I find Liam is the exact same way. So used to routine. You know, if something's gonna change in the routine, I need some notice. You can't just put up on your girl the day of, day before, not even a couple days before, depending what it is. No, you can't just. You need to give me enough warning, notice, so I know, hey, this change in routine is about to happen. Or this change right now is coming. Like, I need some... You gotta give a girl heads up, okay? And even then, I was still a bit reluctant. It was kind of like one of those, if it's broke, don't fix it. If this is what's working and it's comfortable, then leave it as it is. But as I've grown, as I've matured, I've learned and I've appreciated that change is a good thing. Change isn't necessarily anything bad. Change could be an amazing thing. When you step outside of your comfort zone, that's when majority of your growth really happens. Because you're forced to experience life and different experiences like you've never experienced them before. You know, and you're either going to continue to grow from that, or you're going to take the lessons that you learned from previous experiences to help build on that. So embrace change. It's not always a bad thing. It can actually be a really great thing for you, especially if the situation that you're in, it's already not doing it for you. You know what I'm saying? It's already not really feeding you how it needs to. It's already not you know, it's just draining of your energy. If it's doing all of that stuff, hunty, the time is now. Make the change. Embrace it. Okay, another valuable lesson. Your mere existence is with reason. That's pretty much it. Your mere existence is with reason. Discover your life's purpose. Okay, so those kind of piggyback on one another. Now I'm gonna go into another brief explanation. When I was born with 2 holes in my heart. I'm pretty sure I may have made mention of it, but yes, which is the reason for this scar. Okay, when I was born with 2 holes in my heart. The situation surrounding all of that, don't need all the background story, but ultimately the doctor gave me until my 2nd birthday to live. Did I not just tell you I just celebrated my 21st birthday 10 years in a row? All right. So even in addition to that, when I reflect and I look back on the things in my life, different situations that I was in my life, okay, when I really look back and I take it in, I'm like, damn, Lord, like, you're like, the outcome of that situation should have been so much different. So much different. Like when I've heard this one saying one time, my grandmother's prayers or my mother's prayers, it's what's protecting me. It's so true. Because when I really look back, I'm like, yo, I know my mother was such a prayer warrior, because if it wasn't for her, that's the only reason why I've escaped so much close call situations, you know, where other people have been in very similar situations and had a completely different story, you know. And so I say all of that to say, I know that there's a purpose for my life. When you see people who keep having close calls, or, you know, have had a 1-2 close call, or even just a single close call, that's because your purpose, it wasn't yet fulfilled. God said, it's not time for you yet. There's still some more work out there for you to do. And I know that there is definitely a lot of work for me to do out here. But at least I know what that work is and what it's supposed to look like. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful. So yeah, your mere existence is with reason, and it's on you to discover what your life purpose is, because there is one. For every single one of us, we all have a purpose. So it's on you to do that work and figure it out. What is your purpose? And then discover passion and pursue it. Oh, so a wise man once said, if you do what you love for work, then every day won't feel like work, or something to that effect. Something along those lines. But ultimately, if you do something that you love, and that's what puts food on the table, that's what feeds your mouth, that's what feeds your children's mouth, your family's mouth. If you're doing something that just feeds your soul, and you get excited to get up and go and do it every single day, honey, you are blessed, okay? You are blessed. Find your passion and pursue it. Every person has a passion of some sort, a hobby that they truly enjoy. And sometimes we don't really look at those things that might be our passion on the side. We don't really see that as like, okay, this is something that I can do as like my career. This is something that I can do. Yeah, it's my main source of income. And depending what it is, yeah, you might very well feel like that. But there's no need to. Find your passion and pursue it. And I'm telling you, honey, you will never work another day in your life. All right. Seize opportunities as they reveal themselves. Now, not every opportunity is a great opportunity. But if this is something that you have been praying on, and something that you have been fasting on, or this is something that you have been manifesting, or this is something that, you know, you've really been just really sitting down and talking to God about. This is something that your heart is truly desiring, and where your heart is truly at, and you feel like you are ready for, and you see opportunities come, honey, you need to seize these opportunities, because they may very well never come again. Okay? Seize opportunities as they present themselves. This is God's way of saying, here you go, my child, you deserve. Seize them as they come. Now, use your setbacks as motivation for your comebacks. Pretty self-explanatory. Value experiences more so than material things. Also pretty self-explanatory. Now, for me, like I said, my birthday just passed. And oftentimes around your birthday, you get the usual, what do you want for your birthday? Or, you know, what do you want to do? And whatever. And let me tell you, I'm the type of person, I don't need you to buy me anything. I don't. Mainly because anything that I need, I already got for myself. Or because I just don't care for certain things, you know? There's certain things like I just don't care for. It's not of value or of importance to me. And it may have been like 5 years ago, absolutely, because my mind, my maturity, it wasn't there yet, you know? And those were things that, like, oh, this is what's supposed to be important. Like, you know, the latest and greatest, the flashiest this, the flashiest that. Like, I don't care for all of that. For me, I really, truly appreciate and value experiences. So, cook for me, you know? Like, do something that is thoughtful. When you go and you buy something, that's not too thoughtful. You know what I'm saying? It's really not. It's really not. Do something where it's like, yo, I'm always gonna remember this. I'll never forget this. You know, memories last a lifetime. Materialistic things, they come, they go, they lose value, this and that. Memories last a lifetime, and they just hold a lot more weight. So value your experiences over materialistic items in every avenue, every aspect, you know. And this is something I used to do before too. Like, I'd feel bad, I'd have mom guilt if I didn't get to spend too much time with my kids because I was caught up with work, or I was caught up with my studies, or I was caught up with something. And you know, I would go and buy them something and be like, here you go. Here's a little toy. But then it's like, yeah, this is nice, mom, but like, I don't care for that. Like, I just want to spend time with you. I just want, like, read to me, do this, like, let's hang out, you know? Like, those are the things that hold so much value and so much weight. So yeah, just like with kids, like, that's just adult life too, okay? So value experiences more so than you do materialistic items. Make an effort to learn something new every single day. I made mention of this. Knowledge is wealth. And yeah, learn something new every single day and make a conscious effort of that. So whether it is, you know, you do more reading, you do a bit more researching, or whatever, just, yeah, make a conscious effort. Begin each day with a grateful heart. You wake up in the morning, God, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for life. Thank you for even allowing me to wake up to see the morning light. Thank you for all of my senses, for all of my fingers, my limbs, my toes. Thank you for everything. Thank you. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my children. Thank you for their father. Thank you for all of my blessings. Thank you for my home. Thank you for putting food on my table. Thank you. Thank you. And manifest things. Even if you're not exactly where you want to be yet, but you see that for yourself, God, thank him in advance. Thank him in advance. Thank you, God, for allowing me to open up my own interior design firm. Thank you, God, for allowing me to open up my own interior decorating business. Thank you, God, for allowing me to Thank you, God, for allowing me to have more money that I can count. Thank you, God, for allowing me to have enough money that I'm able to share. Thank you, God, for allowing me to be in a position where I can be an advocate for those who are less fortunate. Thank you, God, for allowing me. Just claim all of those things. Claim it. Thank Him. Be grateful. Even if it hasn't yet happened, be grateful in advance. Start every morning with a grateful heart. Trust God, even when His answer is to wait. Ooh, child. This was one that I've had to also master. Trust Him even when the answer is to wait. Because at the end of the day, He knows what He's doing. He knows what He's doing. So trust in His timing and don't question it. Just trust in it. Which leads me on to, there is power in prayer. Oh, I'm pretty sure I made mention of this one as well. There is so much power in prayer. And the thing with prayer is you cannot pray about something and then still stress over it, because it really just defeats the purpose. You have to pray on it and just maintain that faith and trust that God's got it all. God's gonna carry it through. God's gonna see it through. Whatever it is that you're praying on, just trust that God's got it. And it's gonna happen in the perfect timing. As it should, when it should, it will happen. And just trust in God that will be. Ultimately, God will never give you more than you can bear. Always maintain the faith. Okay? So you might be going through a situation and you're feeling so overwhelmed and you're questioning why, this, that, oh, why me? Don't play the martyr. Don't. Trust God. This situation is for a reason. There's some lesson you have to take away from it. Take away that lesson. And yeah, just maintain that faith. Don't ever lose faith. And which song was it? Waymaker from High Point Praise, I think. Oh, I love that song, Waymaker. I love it. It's one of my songs that's on my my gospel playlist that I do play every morning for my morning motivation. 2 songs, okay? Intentional by Travis Green. Yeah, Intentional by Travis Green and Waymaker. And in that song, faith is the evidence of things unseen, but the hope of, I gotta find that line. But she does say a very powerful line in there, and I'm like, yeah, that is the essence of faith. And you really have to have it. You gotta have it. You gotta trust in God. You have to maintain that faith, because if not, that means you're not believing in Him and His capabilities. And I'm telling you, that man up above, he has some miraculous capabilities. Okay, I cannot express enough the amount of capabilities he has. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. You just never know who you'll end up inspiring. Yeah, you just never know who you'll happen to inspire, So be vulnerable. It's okay. And that's something that I also had to really practice and really get comfortable with, because I'm normally the type, I always got my guard up. Don't usually like to, show my soft side or show my weak side or my vulnerable side. But I've been finding that as I've been doing that more so, especially within the last year, I find that in being vulnerable with people, with my loved ones, with family, even with some strangers, or people that might even be acquaintances, I find that when I'm vulnerable with them, it not only creates a bit of like a safe space, but it also becomes inspiring to them as well. And I find that most times they usually end up being vulnerable with me too, and that's where that safe space comes in. So allow yourself to be vulnerable, because you'll just never know who you'll be happening to inspire. Seek a partner who complements you and not one who completes you. Now this might be confusing to most because usually you want to say, oh my boo, he completes me. Oh yeah, I used to be that type too. I'm not gonna lie, I used to, yeah, in my younger days, very much so. But as I've grown and I've matured and I've just understood a lot more about life, I've come to understand and appreciate that when it comes to your partner, especially a lifelong partner, you want someone who, you want to both be two whole individuals independently, and then you come together. You get what I'm saying? Like, you don't want it to be a situation where there's codependency. You want that, hey, with or without you, I'm good. Like, that's how your partner should look. With or without you, I'm good, honey. That way you understand that me being with you is because this is what I choose to do. It's because I genuinely and truly am in love with you, you know? And it's not because I'm just with you because this is what I need to do. Like, I need this right now because, you know, if this don't work out, then shoot, where the hell am I gonna live? Or if this don't work out, then shoot, who gonna pay my bills? Or if this don't work out, then shoot. You know, like, you don't want that codependency. Like, who's gonna wash my clothes? Or like, if this doesn't work out, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want it to be a situation where we are both strong, independent individuals that are coming together. So now we're coming together because you complement me. We're on the same page. We're sharing the same mindset. You know, we're sharing the same perspective. And yeah, that's what your lifelong partner should look like. So seek a partner who complements you rather than who completes you. Okay? Get yourself all together first, sis. All right. When something isn't right for you, your soul rejects it and tries to worry you in so many ways. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the accuracy in that statement, it is so true. Okay? When something is not right for you, you will see there will be so much things happening, so much different cues and signs, and you cannot disregard it. You cannot turn the blind eye, you know, because then you get yourself sometimes into situations that it's like, damn, I could have avoided this altogether, you know? Like, let's say, for example, you're supposed to go out someplace, right? And deep down, you're like, man, I'm not really feeling to go to this thing, but man, let me just go, because if I don't go, you know, so-and-so might catch feelings, or whatever the case is. You know, now you're getting yourself ready to go, you know, something happened to your outfit, like, you know, all of a sudden your car breaks down, or you need a boost, or, you know, all of a sudden you can't find your wallet, you can't find your key. Like, so much things are happening to tell you, hunty, okay, honey, this party that you're trying so hard to go to, or this event that you're trying to break your back to go to, that's not an event for you. Nope, it's not. So sit your little behind down, okay? Because don't you find that usually when things like that happens and you still disregard the signs and you still try to, you know, act on it and follow through, don't you find that when you do that, and then you, let's say you end up at the event and you go and you're like, why did I come here? Like, I knew I should have just trusted my instincts. There was all these signs showing me, stay where I'm at. Why did I come here? Why did I come? You know? So yeah, when something is not for you, I'm telling you, your soul rejects it in so many different ways. All right, so your happiness should be self-reliant. Okay, so that means don't be looking at others to make you happy. And I find that too much people, we do that. And I'm not gonna lie, I used to be like that too. I did. Like, it used to be, well, I'm not happy because you did XYZ, or I'm not happy because this person did do-re-mi, or I'm not happy because, you know. And your happiness should not be dependent upon the actions of somebody else. You need to make yourself happy. You need to discover what it is that truly makes you happy, and you achieve that for yourself. If other people are able to do the same things too, hey, that's a bonus. That's great. But don't have yourself in a position where you need to have the actions of somebody else in order to make you smile, or in order to genuinely make your heart happy and warm inside. No, that needs to be based off on you and your actions alone. Okay? So your happiness, it should be self-reliant. Don't put that kind of pressure on somebody else. And to piggyback off of that, do what makes you happy. Life is so short. If there's one thing that I've taken away from a lot of my, my loved ones who've passed in recent times, it's that life is so short, so short. And God forbid should we drop down tomorrow. What is there to be said about your life? What could you say? Could you say, you know what? Ultimately, at the end of the day, I was so pleased with not only my life, with the experiences with my life, but even just the mark that I've left on others in my life, okay? Do what makes you happy, I'm telling you. It is so crucial. Because at the end of the day, sometimes what makes you happy, it is going to cause others to talk, okay? Because that's just the reality of life. But people are going to talk whether you do or you don't. It doesn't matter. And at the end of the day, nobody has to live your life but you. Only you have to walk in your shoes. They don't have to. So who cares? Who cares? Who cares what they're gonna say? Who cares? Do what makes you happy. Because when you're a happy you, you're able to be the best you to everybody else around you. And in that positivity, that's just all that positive energy that's just floating around you and covering you, it's just naturally gonna radiate and bounce off to everybody else around you. So do what makes you happy. Who cares? Well, I kind of touched on this. Who cares what people have to say? Yeah, who cares? Who cares what people think or have to say about you? It's relevant. There you have it. And never compare your life to anyone else's. What's for you is not for them, and vice versa. Also, you don't know the storms that God has made them have to walk through to go to where they're at. So you don't know what it took for them to get to where they're at. So while you might be sitting there trying to compare yourself and saying, hey, I should be here, I should be there too, or look so and so and look so and so. And no, don't compare yourself to so and so. Focus on you. Focus on you. Okay? Yeah, because at the end of the day, you never know what they had to do to get there, or to, yeah, you don't know. And if you were to know, then you'd really quickly say, God, I'm good where I'm at. Okay? So don't compare your life to someone else's. Also, what's for you will always be for you, regardless to whom is hating and who may feel that you're undeserving of it. So if God's marked your name on it, already claimed it for you, the actions of anybody else, nothing, or no one could ever interfere with it, because God already claimed it for you and it's already spoken for. So, hey, how about that? Also, give your loved ones their flowers while they're still here. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in my last vlog, in my last video. Give your loved ones their flowers while they're still here. Express your love and gratitude to the people in your life while they are here. Let them know just how much you love them and you appreciate them and what it is that they bring or add in type of value to your life. So, finally, appreciate your life lessons. For whatever you take away is what's going to act as a catalyst to your growth. So all of these life lessons, appreciate them. Because what you actually do take away and you apply, it does measure how much you've grown and how much you've really learned. So appreciate your life lessons and all of that fun jazz. But ultimately, those are my 31 valuable life lessons. And I am hoping I'm hoping that you guys enjoyed this, and I'm hoping that you're able to take away some valuable life lessons. You may be able to what's the word I'm looking for? yeah, you might be able to, why can't I, oh, I'm drawing a blank because my battery's dying and I'm feeling pressure. Okay, anyways, you might be able to relate, that's the word, okay? You might be able to relate to some of the life lessons that I have shared, and you yourself may have probably learned those along your way. If you have any valuable life lessons that you'd love to share, please jot them down in the comments down below. It'd be great to hear what everybody else has to say. And yeah, like I said, there's some other ones that I did not get to include. I'm not trying to overwhelm you guys too much, but who knows, maybe I'll go ahead and make another video and elaborate some more on some of the ones that I couldn't include. This is just a nice condensed version, but yeah, I hope you guys appreciated it. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to leave your comments down below. Let me know some life lessons that you've learned, or let me know which life lesson was the greatest takeaway of some of the ones that I've listed as well. All right, so take care for now, guys, and as always, you know, toodles and stay blessed. Ta-ta for now.